Alright, so what we have is a problem. The transgender agenda was started by feminists and has been supported by gay men. There's three different separate groups, and one group is not going to know what the other one goes through. And then there's one group that they're just men. Yes, Justin, you're a man. You don't have any female hormones floating around in your system, and you are not a lesbian. A lesbian is a female that has a vagina that likes other females with vaginas, not with some guy taking hormones with a penis between his legs saying I'm a lesbian. That's not going to happen, ever. In the same sense that I'm a trans woman, but I'm going to keep my penis because I like my penis and I like fucking men up the ass. Well, that's a gay man. Or being with men while having that little extra package. It's kind of the Aerosmith song, you know, had a body like a Venus with arms, but was packing a little extra package down there. Dude looks like a lady. Dude. Get it? So they took a lot of crap. They didn't exactly like it. But just because you don't like it doesn't mean that you should accommodate somebody else's diagnosis and identification that they've been forced on without any reasoning. Yes, we're females. Are we biologically female? We're neurologically female. Biologically, we have an XY chromosome and pretty much fit everything before transition as any male would. Anybody that denies that is an absolute idiot. Yes, we have XY chromosomes. That does not mean that our brains are automatically male, even though some of you idiots seem to think so. It has nothing to do with, well, it does have something to do with genetics, but it has nothing to do with the Y chromosome, period. It has all to do with the X chromosome. And what most of you don't understand is the Y chromosome only does about 100 things for about a week during just the first portion of gestation and dies. But when the X chromosome with a double-length polymorphic AR receptor picks up the androgen, it doesn't read it completely. And the body forms into a male because that's what it's doing, but the brain doesn't. And that's transsexual. And that's the reason why transsexuals know from day one. And even though confused, they will fight about, I'm not a boy. Now, you get someone that's a gay man that goes to clubs and, ooh, I like wearing women's clothing and, you know, looking like a female and being that would be really cool. I think I'm going to take hormones. I guess I'm a trans woman. No, you're not. And you don't know what we go through. Therefore, you don't understand what we go through, and you cannot verbalize out what we go through. So when you see people like Blair White, they're really just basically pandering to bigots. They don't know anything about being transsexual at all. They know about being a gay man that went on hormones, but that's about it. Are boobs all that great? Are breasts that just wonderful? No, they're not. They're a pain in the ass. And then you have to wear a bra, which is really wonderful. Don't even get me started. And yeah, I'm in a nasty mood. Can't you tell? And would you know why? Because trans can't have periods. No, we can't bleed between our legs because there's no vagina or uterus to do so. But there are homogeneous materials which will react, including that brain that, you know, you keep forgetting about. So how do you do that? How do you get a period symptoms without all the blood? Because if you actually have blood coming out of your penis and you're a pre-op, you need to go to the fucking doctor immediately. You really do. Because if you are having blood come out of your area there, you got problems, bad, serious medical problems that could be quite fatal. So I would go get checked out. This one is estrogen. I take it for 21 days. This one is the one I'm on now, which is progesterone. And nobody in their fucking right mind wants to have period symptoms of any kind, whether it's got no blood or not. It's just horrible. Fat, all out of place. What do you say? My daughter came down here, Kara, and she eats nothing but damn growth. I mean, it's all starches and fats. She doesn't want any crunchy vegetables. She doesn't like salads. She doesn't like vegetables hardly at all. So it's very hard to get her to eat them. Now I try. So hard. And this transgender umbrella has allowed Blair White to take over calling herself a trans woman when they're a GNC she-male. There's another one that is using this umbrella like Blair is. Jonathan Yaniv. And yes, both of them are a problem. There's another one that's even as bad. It's actually worse than Jonathan Yaniv. And that's Tommy Tudor, who's admitted time after time after time after time of touching a minor, physically raping a small underage girl when he was nearly 30 years old. And he goes on to say that we're projecting on him and that we're just making up fantasies and that we're the real pedophiles and not him, even though I actually got an idiot named Sampy Noakes that went over and raped a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old boy. And I called Amy, told everything I knew about this idiot and what he had said. Like, oh, when I need to go hiding, I just go off to the fair and I ride in the motorcycle ring. That's a mistake right there when I find out what I'm going to find out later on. Oh, look at my tattoos. Take a picture of my tattoos. Click sure. That's going to be evidence of something that they can catch you on later on. So, sure enough, I find out that he's raped this little girl and little boy. And I knew Amy, and I'm the only reason why the bitch didn't get her kids taken immediately. Because I begged, Amy, please don't. Which she said, okay, well, guess what? I'm making you go to state, bitch. He comes within 500 feet and you don't call me, your ass is getting it. Don't worry, I'll call you. Sure enough, when it happened, I did. And they went and took the kids. Because, well, I couldn't have her in my house. He was just too much. And the kids love me to death. The 4-year-old drank up an entire $20 bottle of damn malt syrup. Little girls and boys would be little girls and boys. There's no need to pollute their minds with all this bullshit. So, you don't need to go around telling people about gays and trans and this and that in elementary school. You only need to let them learn how to read, write, and do mathematics. Keep the religious bullshit out of the schools. Keep the stupid nonsense SJW shit out of the schools. Hey, there you go. Don't make them pray. Don't make them believe in bullshit that doesn't exist. And do not teach them bullshit they don't need to know. Hey, great world. Get them started in reading. Push them to read above their level. And put them in sciences. So that the world can advance instead of going backwards. Which is what it's doing right now. So there we go. Blair doesn't know about dysphoria or what trans kids go through because they're not trans. Science says that a trans woman is a trans woman neurologically. It did not say that all of a sudden, even though they got that Y chromosome, they instantly got a vagina and are having periods. That's ludicrously stupid. That's as stupid as saying, oh, the world is flat, even though we have centuries of proof that it's not. Oh, creation is real, even though it was already decided in 1930 that there was no supportive proof that creation was the way it was, and it was actually evolution that had lots of proof. Therefore, you cannot teach creation in school. And now they want to return that because they're evangelists, and evangelists are idiots. That's why they double talk. So here, let me show you the difference. You cannot just argue the validity of God. You cannot argue the validity of their transness. You're gatekeeping. Oh, you're apostate. Do you see the similarities? Are you starting to get the picture? The same shit that religious nutcases use to avoid looking at the truth is the same exact thing that Blair White and the rest of the non-binary bullshit fake trans use to try to disqualify anyone that says otherwise. Oh, you can't say that. Oh, you can't say that. God's real. Oh, you can't say that their transness is real. You just don't know. Yes, I fucking do. That's why I studied medicine. I'm pretty sure that what I was reading stated the same exact thing throughout all of them. Transsexual, 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 transsexual. Transsexuals new from 3 to 7 years of age. GNC usually went gay and then just started to take hormones. Transvestite just get off dressing like women and playing with themselves. These were the original multi-decades worth of study and research, all shot to shit around 2014, 2015, when some unpassing, got no hair, decided that I'm not a man or a woman, I'm non-binary. You gotta mark me down as non-binary and gotta guess where they're at now. They want to be a man again. Like Kevin Garra. Now, little brother has found plenty of females to males that I just want to be a gender confusion, and my voice started getting deep and I was growing hair all over my body and I got so depressed. Ooh, you mean you got dysphoria? Never sit there and go to Tumblr or to YouTube and think you've decided it all, that you know everything about it, because there's one set that you have not talked to, actual medical professionals. You have decided everything all on your own without any bit of absolute research or proof otherwise. This is why that Blair and Gigi and we've got these huge audiences because they're in their 20s. It's in my 20s too, and I blew Blair away. I've shown you that so many times. That's without facial surgery. Blair has facial surgery. Tommy Teeter, he didn't have any surgery because he's not trans either. In fact, he said the most grossest male line I've ever heard about how he feels sly knowing he's going to get away more with boobs, and that, you know, money doesn't run the world. And then he said this really gross male thing about women's body parts and their faces and their makeup ruling the world. So when you go around talking trash and supporting something that's not real, like transgender agenda, then you screw over the transsexuals, the GNCs get to go ahead and push us down even further, and then you let pedophiles like old Tommy Tudor get on hormones and start molesting children again. Or you know, just dress up in women's clothing and a wig and run into a bunch of women's gyms and bathrooms looking for tampon strings and naked underage girls. This has got to stop. Oh, there's a lot worse. There's one that's in jail right now for 15 years for actually molesting an 8-year-old and saying that they were trans and they raped them. 8-year-old girls don't rape men, okay? Face the facts. You can't have a period if it's set up for cycling hormones. You won't get any blood. Are you going to be a female? Not unless you have the brain. Simple as that. So please, stop with the pseudoscience, stop with the bullshit, stop following dumbasses that don't know what they're talking about. Follow someone that does.